I had a wonderful, wonderful teacher. Her name was Mrs. Kate Brown, and she truly introduced me to reading. Watching Mrs. Brown and listening to her and learning from her, I decided at the ripe old age of 6 I wanted to be a school teacher. I had a 3-year-old brother at the time, and he loved to play outside. I would entice him to come up on our front porch. Well, I had him sit there with a little piece of paper, and I'd take a pencil and I would show him how to write his name, Morris. And seriously, that is when I really thought I was going to get into education via the classroom. I'm a native of Henderson County, and I'm also a product of the public schools here. From first grade to 12th, I truly did have some of the best teachers in the world. Like Mrs. Brown, I watched, I listened, I learned, and I thought, being a teacher has got to be one of the most important professions that a person can choose as a career. In 1973, I met the love of my life, my husband Paul. We were married, we moved to Fort Knox, and I started working there as a volunteer in a local school there on post. We moved back to Hendersonville. I managed a couple of dress shops right across the street here in Hendersonville. Then we had the joyful arrival of our daughter Allison in 1979. When she was kindergarten age, I went in to talk to Mr. Sam Reese, who was assistant superintendent, and Adrian Battistone, who was over the teacher assistant program. And both of them were very gracious and recommended me to Coram Smith to become a teacher assistant at Balfour. So that was my first position officially working in the schools, and I served at Balfour for 4 years. Following that, Mr. Marlowe, Glenn Marlowe, who is truly one of the best superintendents this county has ever known, he offered me a position to work in the central office when it was on Allen Street for the Director of Secondary Education, Dr. Lee Zollinger, who taught me so much about teacher certification. Dr. Lunsford asked me if I would come and serve as his assistant, and I did so, and it was a very exciting time during then because that is when the Henderson County Board of Education and the Hendersonville City Board of Education were making plans to merge, and that occurred in July 1st of 1993. So I served as County School Board Assistant and Interim Board, and then had the great honor of serving as assistant to the merged Board of Education. Following that, Dr. Page allowed me to help coordinate the Top Scholars Banquet during his tenure, and that was truly one of the highlights of my career, where we recognized the top 15 students in each of our high schools. So there's 6 superintendents that I've had the great honor of working with, truly. But particularly important were all the wonderful office staff that I had the honor of working with. One of the things that sustained me during my 28-year career with the school system was the passion that I had for the children I served and the fellow colleagues that I worked with there in the office support staff, and for the administrators that I had the great honor of serving. I would like to say thank you, first of all, to my daddy, Doc Case, who taught me an incredible work ethic, and my mother, Betty Case, Betty Frances Corn Case. She taught me the importance and the value of family and how to love and care for them. I would particularly like to thank the late, great Glenn Marlowe. He was an incredible administrator, an incredible human being. My brother Morris, who has just always been a real supporter of anything that I've done professionally. My dear beloved husband, and my precious daughter Allison, who it's hard to believe now she's 42, my baby. all the superintendents that I worked for who trusted me enough and gave me the opportunity to serve them in the incredible boards of education. It was an honor to serve them, and I just appreciate the positive impacts that they all had on my life. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame is truly one of the greatest honors that has ever been bestowed upon me. But it would not be possible without all those who came before, all those who helped me, who taught me, who encouraged me, who understood when I made mistakes and forgave. If it was a simple little thing in their eyes, it was always a big thing, you know, to me. But they all had such a tremendous impact, and I'm just so grateful to each one of them for all they did to make this possible.